Okay, I'ma be honest with ya. Being a horror game enthusiast is a very difficult task. Like, don't get me wrong, I know y'all wouldn't get it since you haven't played masterpieces like Hello Sponge Ice Cream Juego de Terror Vecino. What the fuck is this? In all honesty, for every amazing game that you could find, there's like 20 out there that makes you think if humanity really evolves or do we just do it backwards. And even if good horror games are really hard to find, when you find them, oh man, it's such an experience. And today, since I gotta celebrate Alesus Mes del Terror, we're going to talk about a developer who makes these experiences, Puppet Combo. Puppet Combo, born in Quién Coño Sabe Cuándo, is a game developer inspired by horror slasher films from the 70s or 80s. When you see his games for the first time, you'll probably say, yo, this looks freaking awful! And you wouldn't be wrong, but at the same time, you also wouldn't be right either, because it was this graphic style that not only made popular the PS1 graphic style for horror games, but it also put him on the map for so many people. Y'all remember the time when los juegos de terror eran de esta forma? ¡Hostia, qué miedo! ¡Hostia, qué miedo! ¡Ah! ¿Y no tanto de esta forma? Okay, that ain't normal, that thing shouldn't be... Okay, oh my god, what is that? What is that? Okay. Exactly, games that didn't look polished at all, neither in the graphics aspect nor in the gameplay aspect. Or in other words, they looked freaking terrible. So terrible that really no one remembers them, even though they were really popular at the time, being played by tons of popular YouTubers around the world. Yoris, Corey, I love you guys so much, you're amazing. Well, enter Puppet Combo Games, where you saw the PS1 graphic style or the funny pickup sound. You easily recognize his games at first glance. These games are just so unique that it couldn't be compared to anything else other than great PS1 horror games. And that's just for the presentation. And I know I'm going to say something that may not make sense at first, but hear me out, okay? The thing I like the most about Puppet Combo Games is the fact that his games are actual games, and not minigames for a lack of a better word. Let me explain myself. What I didn't like about all these horror games from the 2012 days is the fact that they feel like minigames. At least some of them were free, but other ones? This thing was $3 and I feel robbed. Volviendo al tema, personally, my definition of a minigame is a game that doesn't have that much work into it. A simple game with sometimes less than one objective, which is not really difficult and it's not really fun. At least it's not fun for more than 5 minutes. And it's a miracle if these games last more than that. Excellent examples of this are most of the Slender games, all of the terrible Five Nights at Freddy's clones, and the Emily Wants to Play games, which, don't get me wrong, I like these games. I have some cool memories with them, but oh my god, they get old really fast. Is a minigame bad? Absolutely not. But are they a ton of minigames that are bad? Yeah, exactly. And some of the Puppet Combo games like Power Drill Massacre definitely could be defined into this subgenre that I just basically invented myself. But not really all of them. Just check out Babysitter Bloodbath, The Glass Staircase, Stay Out of the House, and even Night Reaper. These games are actual survival horror games which feel polished and like a full product. And just imagine that some of them are still being developed. Puppet Combo games came to the market at a time where good horror games were really scarce. Since we only got terrible game after terrible game, and then out of nowhere, Power Drill Massacre comes out and it was fascinating. And I know, PDM is a fan favorite, but I'm gonna be honest with ya. Even though I got to know Puppet Combo thanks to this game, look at this and tell me, do you really think this is a masterpiece? The best Puppet Combo experience? See, I get the scare factor of this game. The control scheme, the atmosphere, the sound and level design, everything is spot on and it's amazing. What I hate about it is the fact that it's just simple y sencillamente unfair. If the killer gets you, I'm sorry, but unless you're a god or have played this for a while, you're not getting out of it. Considering that everything disorients you, from the graphics on screen, the camera, and ese puto sonido altísimo, cabrón, cierra el hocico, it ends up making the whole experience not enjoyable at a certain point. But it's a fun game, definitely, for maybe 10 minutes. After that, it's just really frustrating. Even if PDM gets boring after a while to me, I think it's important because in future games, Puppet Combo grabbed this concept and made it really fun. Night Reaper, for example, which is basically PDM with more depth and a bigger map, it's an amazing game, really building upon what PDM did great. And yeah, there's still some bullshit moments, for example, like when you get stuck in a room with this Pato guy, but not enough BS to get me out of the experience like PDM did. Unknown Massacre, which, by the way, it was going to be a sequel to PDM. We even have screenshots of the killer and Megan in this building, and I find that really cool. Unknown Massacre is PDM if it had good controls and if it was a little bit more fair. As always, it has some stupid stuff, but not enough to get ridiculous. It may be if you get unlucky though. Okay, but what makes these games special? What makes them different from these other games that I showed before? I would say charm. You know, that word that is often used in every 2D pixel art game. It definitely applies here, because hear me out. There's this surrealist feeling all around in all 3D games. They were not that quite good, but not as bad for them to be terrible in the graphic department. It's this middle point that lets your mind fill the blanks and make the graphics look better than they actually are. And the level design as well, like dude, they're just like so unreal. Some parts even looking like liminal spaces and making you feel really uncomfortable. That's something that also happened to me when I was a kid. I don't know why, but the Venice level in Tomb Raider 2 made me kinda scared, like, where's all the people? What is this place? I like to imagine myself in that same place, and oh my god, one time it almost got me in tears, man. That same feeling is the one I feel in some levels of Puppet Combo games. Like Night Reaper, it's just so empty in a good, scary way. I can see why these games made popular the trend of PS1 style horror games. There's such an amazing experience, and I know I'm repeating amazing a lot, but sorry, I don't know that much synonyms. How the fuck do you even pronounce synonymous? And the games inspired by this are really good as well. I personally love Puppet Combo games because there's no games like this nowadays. You kinda miss the feeling of having some graphics that didn't look quite as good, if you know what I'm saying, because graphics like this nowadays, since everything is so detailed, just look out of place and low budget. I think that's the reason why I love these games. Puppet Combo games gives you this nostalgic emptiness that is weird to describe, and I think that's why I love these games, really. Anyways, that was the video, y'all. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe so we can get to the top. We got 10 subscribers already, so be ready, PewDiePie. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. Un funny Latino man is coming for you. Get ready.